Namaskar, everyone. My name is Vikas Gupta, and we'll talk about what is the role of yoga in Hindu culture. And if you have not yet watched the video on karma and reincarnation, I would suggest that you watch those videos first because the information that you learn or gain from those videos will allow you to better understand the concept of yoga. So, before I say what is yoga, I would really want to emphasize what yoga is not. And yoga is not just a fitness regime for physical fitness. It's one aspect of it, but it is not just the fitness. And that's what I have seen in my friend circle on social media. There's all kind of yoga. Goat yoga is the most famous one that is very popular these days. And this is not something that you do only when you're stressed or you need mental balance. Again, it's an outcome of doing the right yoga, but that's again not the ultimate goal. And it is not a group practice, something that we all have to understand. Yoga is towards your individual journey. So, in true sense, what is yoga? As I said briefly, just to visualize it, yoga, one aspect of yoga is postures. We call them asanas. And there's hatha yoga, for example, where ha means sun and the tha means moon. And these postures allow you to create certain balance and geometry within your body, which tunes in with the geometry of the universe. And meditation, as we all know, is to still your mind. Your mind is always thinking, it's always buzzing with something that has happened in the past, or you're planning for the future, and you're never in the present. With meditation, the goal is for you to bring your mind to a stillness. So these are the two aspects that is very well understood, but there's more to it. With yoga, it also means you transcend your desires. And that is like with yama, niyama, how you go beyond just living a life of compulsion to really living a life of consciousness. And that's what yoga also prepare you for. And it's a service to others. As we talk about bhakti yoga, you will see that with that, your goal is to service others without thinking of the benefits that comes to you, without thinking of the fruits of your karma that you are doing, and you're just doing service to others, and that brings compassion, kindness, and love, which is of true nature, and not with certain desires. And it gives you very moral compass where you have ethical and moral guidelines that you want to live with. You know what is wrong and what is right. And then you do certain spiritual practices where through dhyana, dharana, or samadhi, you can attain a certain level of calmness inside you. You transcend your physical desires, your physical presence, and you have your soul which lives within you to really find a different dimension and merge with the universe. And that is what yoga is. Yoga is the way of life. And if you do all of this, the ultimate goal for every one of us is to really um, uniting our soul with the Paramatma, with the Supreme. Now, to go a little deeper, I will not go into a lot of details. Yoga, there are four kind of yogas. One is karma, which is how you basically involve yourself joyfully in any activity. So karma yoga is you keep doing your actions day to day, but you're doing it with a complete involvement, where you are not tired, you are not exhausted, and you are not thinking of any outcome which could benefit you. You do what is required, and that is what karma yoga is. Then we have bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is you use your emotions, and emotions is the sweetest of emotions, sweetest of things we all have as human beings, and we can go into that emotional journey, and we merge what we do the path of devotion, where we do chanting, we do mantra, we dance, we service towards the God, towards someone that we call deity, and our goal is to merge with that supreme, and that's what bhakti yoga allows us to do. And then we have kriya yoga. With the help of kriya yoga, there are certain life energies inside you which needs to find manifestation. They are dormant inside your body, and through the science of 8 chakras, which is beyond the scope of this question, you can figure out the mechanics of your life making, and you can activate those energies through certain practices, and then you can also attain oneness with the supreme through that by doing kriya yoga. And Gyan yoga is where you say, what I know, what I don't know. So you basically, through scriptures, through reading, and through knowing the real meaning of truth, real meaning of existence is what you work towards. And by doing so, you also can attain oneness with the Supreme. So yoga is these four different aspects, and you can use one of these, many of these, but the goal for you to is go beyond your physical boundaries and attain Supreme. And very quickly, as people have been talking about eight limbs of yoga, and eight limbs of yoga has become a brand unto itself. But it's very important to understand what each aspect of yoga really means. The first is yama, where you are self restraining yourself, your desires, and you live a very disciplined life. Niyama is you define certain rules. For example, you're not going to eat dinner after 7 p.m. You will wake up at 5 a.m. and you will follow a life of righteousness. So you do these niyama rules. And then third is asana, where you do movements and postures. One form is hatha yoga that you all see, where you bring geometry inside your body in unison with the geometry of the world. And the fourth is pranayama, where through breathing exercises, you sort of bring a form of stillness inside you, and you attain a sense of calm and peacefulness within your body. And the fifth is pratyahara, where withdrawal of senses, the five senses that we live our world day to day, we feel and experience the world, but that's also in a way destructive or can cause continuous agitation inside you. How you withdraw from those senses and start looking inward. And the sixth is dharana, which is the preliminary, the basic form of meditation, where you're just with your eyes closed, you're concentrating on some object. And then from there, you lean to dhyana, which is as you continue to practice that, you will one day feel like you are that one object that you are concentrating on. And then ultimately, samadhi. Samadhi is where when your meditation becomes so deep, where you basically are not identified with your physical body, and your soul, which is the life energies within you, can find manifestation with the bigger universe out there. That's what samadhi is. So these are the eight limbs of yoga, and these combined is what we tend to do and attain oneness with the Supreme.